Hello guys, welcome to another video. This is going to be my want to watch predictions, and there's no gameplay in the background because I have made a bunch of graphics. This took me an absolute age to make all these cards, so if you could leave a like and subscribe it would be much appreciated. So getting into the video, we've got the goalkeepers. Now with the goalkeepers, I picked 3. There was only Edison last year, but there's more goalkeeper moves this year there wasn't last year. So we've got Alisson, Courtois and the Chelsea goalkeeper. I can't pronounce his name. So Alisson was the record transfer signing when moving to Liverpool, and it was a big area Liverpool needed to work on. So he could get one. He's quite likely to get one in my opinion. Also the Chelsea goalkeeper is quite likely to get one. Because he was the new record signing, and obviously Courtois left. Therefore, Courtois left to Madrid. If I'm going to say the difficult one here is because Courtois is the highest rated. The one to watch cards that I was looking at last year, they like to go for high rated cards. So I'd probably say the Chelsea and the Liverpool goalkeeper are quite likely. I'd say 2 of these 3. I'd say they're fairly even on which one could get it. But I'd say 2 out of these 3 will probably get a one to watch. Moving on to the defenders. Since doing the graphics, I have thought of 2 more players that could get one. So I'm just going to add them in here now. It's 2 Arsenal players. It's going to be Socrates and Lichtsteiner. I'd completely forgotten that they'd gone to Arsenal because it happened right at the beginning of the transfer window. I'd probably say Nkulu wouldn't get one, and I'd put Socrates in there. I don't think Lichtsteiner will get one because that would make it 3 right backs, and I'd probably say the other 2 are more one to watch players, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So moving on to Arias, he has moved from PSV to Atletico Madrid. I don't know a lot about him. Pretty decent player, I think. Although I know looking at his numbers, he's got quite a high attacking output, which is something Atletico Madrid fullbacks often have to do a lot of. That's where they get the width from. So I feel like he could get a few informs at Atletico Madrid, maybe one or 2 at Atletico Madrid next year. So maybe not the worst pickup in the world. De Vrij has moved from Lazio to Inter Milan on a free. Quite a good centre back. He's really going to make that Inter Milan defence really good. Obviously Visalco, the right back, has also gone to Inter Milan. I've put both of them in there because last year Davinson Sanchez and Aurier both went to Tottenham, and they put both of them in. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did a similar thing again and put both of them in. Obviously that makes Inter Milan's defence really, really good. There was a lot of Inter Milan signings that I could have put in here. I've put 3 in this whole want to watch prediction. I only think two will get one because I don't think they'll want to put 3 in from the same club. I just couldn't decide which 2, and I did miss out a big one in Nainggolan. I didn't put Nainggolan in my prediction because although he's a big signing, there's also quite a lot of other midfielders that could have got one. So maybe Nainggolan will get one, but finally for the defenders we've got Nkulu. He's gone to Torino from Lyon, but I was looking, it was sort of just a filler to be honest with you. I felt like there needed to be more defenders in there, and he's gone from Lyon to Torino multiple times in his career over the past 3 or 4 years. So I doubt he'll get one, but I just stuck him in there in case. Next up we've got the midfielders. As I already said, I did miss out quite a few midfielders because there's been lots of midfield signings this window. So we'll go over the ones I haven't put in there first. I haven't put Nainggolan in, although he could get one. The 2 Chelsea midfielders in Jorginho and Kovacic, and Liverpool midfielder Fabinho. Those are the ones I feel that could also get one, but obviously you can only have 23 players in there, and I've already got a Chelsea player in here. I've already got Keita as a Liverpool player. 9 goal, and he could get one, but there's already quite a lot of Inter Milan players that they could put in there also. So, starting off, we've got Fred from Man United, come from Donetsk Shakhtar, I think is how you say it. Not quite sure, but obviously I think he's quite a good player. I think he's going to give the balance to the Man United midfield three, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got an inform or two, as well as EA love Man U, so he won't have to do that much to get an inform, so he might not be a bad pickup. Well-rounded card, so it's not the, I'd actually quite like that pickup. Obviously being Brazilian and Man United means he's going to be expensive, because he's going to be really good for links. Next up we've got Keita. Now this guy is probably the most hyped one to watch card that there is. I'm not sure he will get one. I think he'll get one. It's going to be him or Fabinho, maybe both, but I doubt it. But Keita, I'm going to guess here now, three informs this year. I think he's going to have a really good season. He's shown that in the first game. He fits the Liverpool system really well, coming from RB Leipzig, who play a similar way of football to Liverpool, playing on the counter and high pressing. So he already sort of knows the system. He's very athletic, he's great on the ball, and I think he's going to get a lot of assists this season, and he can hit a ball, so you know he could get 5 or 6 goals from midfield. He's going to play a very attacking position in the Liverpool game. Obviously I think from midfield he went up to left wing when they decided to change the system a little bit. So next up we've got Witsel. Obviously no picture on this card because he's not in the game at the minute. He's in the Chinese league, but he's come to Dortmund after a decent World Cup with Belgium. So he's an alright card. I've just gone off his World Cup ratings there. He used to be in the game with Zenit. He used to be a decent card. So one inform or so, and that will be a very good one to watch card. Next up I've gone with Maddison, who's gone to Leicester from Norwich, and obviously I can't have superstars everywhere, so I put him in the midfield instead of like a Nainggolan, or I nearly put Jorginho in. Jorginho would have been the one I probably would have put him in for, but I chose Maddison because he's gone Leicester. Leicester don't have one in this one to watch thing, and obviously missing out on Mahrez. Someone's going to have to take the creative cover for Mahrez, and I think that guy could be Maddison. Obviously he's not quite as good as Mahrez, but he's going to come as close as they can to that creativity, so I think I wouldn't be surprised if he got a few informs this year. Next we've got Seri, who's gone to Fulham, new team to the Premier League, and it's a good signing for Fulham. Seri obviously quite a good player, I believe, from the French league, so it's hard to tell, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does really well. Next up we've got Torreira. I think this guy's going to be phenomenal. Really good with Uruguay at the World Cup. I think he's what Arsenal were missing in that midfield. A bit of defensive cover for the back line, so I think they'll probably put him in. Out of the Arsenal signings, obviously Arsenal quite a big club, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in. There haven't been loads of huge signings this year like there was last year, because I was looking at the ones last year. Obviously you had like Lukaku, Neymar, Mbappe, which were huge players. Next up we've got wingers. Quite a lot of wingers have transferred this year, but a lot of them are on the verge of being really good players, so a few informs and a lot of these cards are going to be good. We'll start off with Richarlison. Obviously he got a brace for Everton in his first game under Marco Silva. I think he's going to have a phenomenal season, so he's one of these guys that I think could get quite a few informs. Next up we've got Kluivert, who's moved to Roma. Can't remember who it is, but the manager at Roma treats young talent quite well, and obviously Kluivert was decent at Ajax, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did really well. These wingers, I think a lot of them could get informs quite effectively. This guy I don't think is going to get that many informs, and it's going to be Gelson Martins. Obviously I think it was a free transfer, from Sporting with him terminating his contract there because of the training ground incident. But I'm not sure about this one. I think he might get one, but I don't think he'll get many informs. I don't think he really suits the Atletico Madrid system, and I'm not sure how much game time he'll get. But moving on to Riyad Mahrez, who's gone to Man City from Leicester. I don't know how much game time Mahrez has got, but on his first game he was phenomenal. And one thing he gets at Man City, which he doesn't get at Leicester, is one-on-ones, and he's going to destroy people down that right-hand side, cutting on his left. I think he might not get the most game time, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if he got a few informs. Next up, we've got Felipe Anderson for West Ham. Don't know how West Ham are going to do this season, but Felipe Anderson is a good player. He's quick and he's good at dribbling, but he doesn't have a great injury record. So if you're going to pick up this one to watch card, just be wary. Don't hold it for too long because he might get an injury. He's got a really bad injury record back at Lazio. However, he does score a lot of goals when he's not injured, so that's something to think about. Next up, we've got Malcolm. I don't think this guy's going to get that much game time if Dembele stays at Barcelona. I think Dembele is a better player than Malcolm, so not sure how much game time Malcolm will get. But he has gone to Barca, and I think he will get one to watch card. Lastly, we've got Vinicius Jr. Now, I presume this guy's going to be in the game. He has gone to Real Madrid. Just noticed now that I forgot to put the little icon on. But he's going to Real Madrid, and I hope he gets game time there. He's obviously a young player, and I quite like him. It reminds me of something similar to Robinho. I think he could turn out like. Obviously, Robinho, a very talented player, never quite got to his full potential, but Vinicius Jr., I've just completely guessed with the stats. I don't have the faintest idea. But that is it, and then we'll go on to the strikers. So the strikers are Martinez, who has gone to Inter Milan. Obviously, this is the third Inter Milan player. I think only 2 will get it, but there haven't been a lot of striker transfers. There was a lot of striker transfers last season, but this season there hasn't been as many. There's been quite a few wingers, but the Argentine has gone to Inter Milan, and I don't know a lot about this player. I couldn't even tell you which club he's come from, but he looks like he could be alright to use in FIFA. He did get a team of the season in FIFA 18, so 1 or 2 informs, and I think he could be a fairly decent card. Can't speak a lot about him in real life. Next up, we've got Mitrovic, who has gone to Fulham. Obviously, he still plays for Fulham. He played for Fulham last season, and I don't know, just reading up on it, apparently he's actually transferred to Fulham this time, so he could get a one to watch card. I very much doubt this, but I don't know what happened, but apparently it classed as a transfer, so I've put it in here. And lastly, one that I think will get one is Toko Ekambi. He was in League One last season. He's a decent player, and he's gone to Villarreal, so hopefully he can do some stuff over there, and I think he could be a decent player. So that's it for these one to watch things. The strikers and the defenders, I didn't think there was a lot of, but I think there's going to be a lot of midfielders and wingers, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was 2 or more goalkeepers. Make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe, because this video took an age to make.